Good evening. Here are tonight's top stories. Two Guyana Defense Force sergeants have been granted bail on drug trafficking charges. The police have identified the body found near Eckles dumpsite road as that of Angela Andrea Suknanen. A minor is recovering from second-degree burns following an altercation involving alcohol. In a tragic road accident, a woman from West Burbus has lost her life. Senior police leadership recently emphasized the importance of excellence and preparedness during a meeting with inspectors and chief inspectors. An investigation is underway into the suspicious death of 24-year-old Simon Griffith on Kyrie Island. The People's National Congress Reform continues its weekly protest, calling for a clean voters list. Meanwhile, MP Annette Ferguson is demanding accountability for Georgetown's water quality, questioning the use of a $28 billion allocation. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more news.
Investigation underway after suspicious death of 24-year-old Simon Griffith on Kyrie Island. Newsroom Guyana reports the family of Simon Griffith, a 24-year-old resident, is urgently seeking answers following his mysterious death at a relative's home on Kyrie Island in the Northwest District on August 2nd. Simon's father, Terrence Sandy, reported last seeing his son alive on the morning of August 1st. A post-mortem examination conducted on August 6th confirmed that Simon's death resulted from asphyxiation, ligature strangulation, and blunt trauma. Ligature strangulation involves a cord-like object being tightened around the neck. Simon was discovered at the residence of his cousin, Azumi Abdul. According to Azumi, Simon was found dead at 6 a.m. on August 2nd. However, she did not immediately notify Simon's family. Terrence Sandy expressed concerns about the timing of the notification, stating, "When his sister checked on him, it appeared he had been dead for some time. It wasn't until around 9 o'clock that Azumi made the call." Simon's sister, Sabrina Thomas, reported that she attempted to contact her brother's phone from 6 a.m. that morning, but received no response. Sabrina described her frustration, saying, "I kept calling his phone, but no one answered. When Azumi finally picked up, it seemed like no one was speaking, and she ended the call." Upon finally reaching Azumi at approximately 9 a.m., Sabrina was told that Simon was sleeping and instructed to come and collect him. When Sabrina arrived at the house, she found Simon unconscious next to a mattress in a dark room. The room was very dark, and although I initially thought he was asleep, his eyes were partially open and his skin was a disturbing color, Sabrina recounted. Sabrina confronted Azumi about Simon's condition, but Azumi did not provide any clear answers. An argument ensued between Azumi and Sabrina, with Sabrina eventually leaving to inform other relatives. At the time of Simon's death, Azumi lived with her mother, brother, and sister, all of whom were present. Initially, police arrested Azumi's brother, Kemraj Abdul, in connection with the incident, but he was subsequently released. Sabrina Thomas has voiced the family's distress, stating, "We want to know how our brother died and seek justice for him." The investigation into Simon Griffith's death is ongoing as authorities work to uncover the circumstances surrounding this tragic event. The family remains hopeful for answers and justice. West Burbus woman tragically dies in road accident. A devastating road accident on Tuesday morning has resulted in the death of Sharon Monroe, an electrical cyclist from West Burbus. The incident took place around 8:20 hours on Experiment Public Road. According to initial reports, Monroe was traveling west on the southern side of the road when a motorcar, identified by registration number PAE 6334 and driven by Shamal Rohan Sahadio, collided with her from behind. The impact caused Monroe to be thrown onto the roadway and left her with severe injuries. Following the collision, the vehicle lost control and crashed into a lamp post. Passers-by promptly assisted Monroe, transporting her to Fort Wellington Public Hospital. Despite the efforts of medical staff, Monroe was pronounced dead approximately 90 minutes after the accident. Both Shamal Rohan Sahadio and Agardio Sahadio, the owner of the vehicle, were also taken to Fort Wellington Public Hospital for medical evaluation. Their current conditions are not yet available. The Guyana Police Force has commenced an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the accident and is working to gather further information. Minor suffering from second-degree burns after altercation involving alcohol. In an alarming incident on Monday, a 44-year-old minor identified as James Thomas, also known as Wormy, sustained severe second-degree burns after being set on fire by a fellow minor during an alcohol-fueled dispute. The altercation occurred at Mbaimadai Landing, Upper Mazaruni River, Region 7, where Thomas and the 53-year-old suspect were consuming a potent local spirit known as high wine. According to police reports, a disagreement erupted when Thomas took possession of the suspect's bottle of high wine. Despite the suspect's repeated requests for the return of his bottle, Thomas reportedly refused. In response to the situation, the suspect, who is familiar with Thomas, reacted violently by seizing the bottle, dousing Thomas with the alcohol, and setting him alight. The resulting flames caused Thomas to suffer significant second-degree burns over various parts of his body. Emergency services transported Thomas to the Mbaimadai health post before he was transferred to Georgetown Public Hospital for specialized treatment. The suspect has been apprehended and is currently in police custody. Police identify body found near Eckles Dumpsite Road as Angela Andrea Suknanen. The Guyana police force has confirmed that the body of the woman found in a trench near the Eckles Dumpsite Road has been identified as Angela Andrea Suknanen. The identification was made earlier today by her father, 76-year-old Ramel Suknanen, a resident of Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Mr. Suknanen identified his daughter's body at approximately 3 p.m. Angela Andrea Suknanen had been under treatment for mental health issues by Dr. Harry. According to her father, she last visited the doctor on Thursday, August 8, 2024, where she was seen, examined, and treated. On Friday, August 9, 2024, Angela reportedly asked her mother, Charlotte Suknanen, for money to travel to Diamond. Tragically, her body was later discovered in the trench at the Eckles industrial site. The investigation into the circumstances surrounding Angela Andrea Suknanen's death is ongoing. Guyana Defense Force sergeants granted bail on drug trafficking charges. 2 staff sergeants of the Guyana Defense Force, GDF, Adissa Higgins and Clovis Sam, who are facing drug trafficking charges, have been granted bail. The decision was made on Monday, August 12, 2024, during a hearing at the Diamond/Golden Grove Magistrates Courts. The sergeants were each required to post $300,000 bail following their appearance before Magistrate Dylan Bess. As part of their bail conditions, both Higgins and Sam must regularly report to the Golden Grove Police Station and have been ordered to surrender their passports to the clerk of court. The 2 men were initially arraigned on July 22, 2024, before Magistrate Sunil Scarce, who had ordered their remand to prison. However, the recent ruling by Magistrate Bess has granted them pre-trial liberty. The defendants, represented by Attorney Bernard Da Silva for Higgins and Attorney Patrice Henry for Sam, have both pleaded not guilty to the charges. Their next court appearance is scheduled for August 16, 2024, for further proceedings. The charges stem from a police operation in the early hours of July 18, 2024, when members of the joint services were apprehended. During the operation, 22 large bags containing approximately 154 pounds of marijuana were discovered in a GDF-owned vehicle, DFB 1786, which the defendants were occupying. The operation was conducted by the Special Branch and Regional Division 4B of the Guyana Police Force, GPF, and took place on the Coverdene Public Road, East Bank Demerara. Both men were stationed at the GDF's Camp Iangana in Georgetown at the time of their arrest. People's National Congress Reform continues weekly protest for a clean voters list. The People's National Congress Reform, PNCR, continues to advocate for a transparent and fair electoral process with its ongoing weekly protest. On Tuesday, August 13, 2024, supporters gathered outside the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, office to demand a clean and accurate voters list. The PNCR remains steadfast in its call for electoral reforms that ensure the integrity of Guyana's democratic process. The protesters emphasized the importance of a comprehensive and up-to-date voters list, which they believe is essential for free and fair elections. The PNCR invites all concerned citizens to join the movement in calling for the necessary changes to safeguard the future of Guyana's democracy. MP Annette Ferguson demands accountability for Georgetown's water quality amid $28 billion allocation. Member of Parliament Honorable Annette Ferguson has raised serious concerns about the current state of Georgetown's water supply, questioning the effectiveness of the $28 billion allocated to the water sector in the 2024 national budget. Despite this significant investment, residents and consumers in Georgetown continue to report poor water quality through their taps, prompting MP Ferguson to call for immediate transparency and accountability from the relevant authorities. In a letter addressed to the Minister of Housing and Water, Honorable Colin Crowell via Facebook post, MP Ferguson emphasized the urgent need for an explanation regarding the ongoing challenges faced by the Guyana Water Incorporated, GWI. It is troubling to hear that residents and consumers in Georgetown are still facing significant issues with the quality of water coming through their taps, she stated. This situation is unacceptable, and it raises serious questions about the management and allocation of the approved funds. MP Ferguson stressed that the residents of Georgetown deserve access to clean and safe water, particularly in light of the substantial budgetary allocation aimed at improving the water sector. She called on Minister Kroll to provide a detailed explanation of the issues affecting water quality and to outline the measures being taken to address these concerns. Transparency and accountability are essential in ensuring that the citizens' needs are met and that public funds are being utilized effectively, MP Ferguson added. She urged the Ministry of Housing and Water to take immediate action to resolve the situation and to keep the public informed of any developments. Senior police leadership emphasizes excellence and preparedness in meeting with inspectors and chief inspectors. Commissioner of Police Mr. Clifton Hicken, Deputy Commissioner, Administration, AG, Mr. Ravindrat Budram, and Assistant Commissioner, Operations, Mr. Errol Watts convened this morning with inspectors and chief inspectors at the Officers' Mess Annex, Eve Leary. This meeting is part of a series of sessions aimed at reinforcing the standards and expectations within the Guyana Police Force. Senior Superintendent Mr. Jermaine Johnson, Woman Superintendent Carol Fraser-Harding, Superintendent Mitchell Caesar, and Superintendent Prem Nareen, who were present at the head table, emphasized the necessity for ranks to fully grasp their roles and responsibilities. The senior officers encouraged middle managers to closely monitor their junior ranks and maintain vigilance in their areas, given the ongoing challenges posed by crime. Assistant Commissioner, Operations, Mr. Errol Watts addressed the need to reinstate fortnightly or monthly drills for inspectors. He highlighted that these drills are essential for ensuring that inspectors remain adept and efficient in their duties, thereby enhancing overall operational effectiveness. Mr. Watts also urged effective collaboration to uphold the Guyana Police Force's vision and meet public expectations with dignity and pride. Deputy Commissioner, Administration, AG, Mr. Ravindrat Budram shared insights into the significant progress the force is making in its reform and modernization efforts. He applauded the ongoing initiatives aimed at enhancing the force's service delivery and effectiveness. Deputy Commissioner Budram concluded his remarks by stressing the importance of humility and discipline, urging the officers to uphold integrity and serve with commitment. In his closing remarks, Commissioner Hicken underscored the importance of impeccable appearance and conduct, stating, "Your attire must be immaculate." He reiterated the force's motto, service and protection, and emphasized the importance of professionalism in all aspects of their roles. Commissioner Hicken also reminded the officers of the 5 pillars of the 2022 to 2026 strategic plan, focusing on fostering partnerships and bridging gaps between the public and the force. He stressed the need for ranks to prioritize their physical fitness, which is crucial for optimal performance. The Commissioner encouraged the inspectors and chief inspectors to lead by example and strive for excellence. "We want to be prouder of you tomorrow than we are of you today," Commissioner Hicken remarked, challenging them to set a high standard within the force. During the meeting, concerns raised by police officers were addressed comprehensively by Commissioner Hicken and the senior team. The Commissioner is scheduled to meet with sergeants later this week as part of an ongoing effort to align the entire force with its mission to serve and protect the public effectively.